Okay. Can you hear me? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And then muting participants. Let's see. Dr. Emily is with us today. Okay. Thank you. Good to be home mostly, except I would wish it was a little more springish. I was hoping to come to a little more spring weather, but you know, Utah.
There's Miss Angel. There she is.
You all right? Never tell her. Great. Kind of okay. 2, 3. Okay, friends, it's yoga time. Thank you so much for being here. I love coming home and seeing my peeps. So thank you for showing up. Yeah, it's good to be home. I had a really good time, lots of fun adventures, and really good to get some sun, vitamin D. But yeah, always good to come home as well. So, without further ado, let's just practice. Does anyone have any questions? Is that my phone? Sure. Okay, questions, comments, concerns before we begin? Oopsies. Sorry. Hang on. Technical difficulties. Okay. Okay, I think we're ready now. Okay, let's do this. So go ahead, come to a comfortable seated position. If you're laying down and you're like, I feel so good down here, you want to stay there, that's fine with me. So go ahead and just kind of move your body a little bit before settling in. So maybe a little bit of just exploration, get some physical feedback. And then when you're ready, find stillness. It's your Thursday morning seated meditation. Eventually close your eyes. Just bring your hand somewhere to rest intentionally. So maybe on your lap, maybe to your heart, maybe one hand at your heart, one hand at your belly. And let's just take right away 3 big deep breaths together. So next time you breathe in, fill up as big as you possibly can. Hold at the top in that fullness. Maybe even sip in a little bit extra. And then open your mouth and big sigh to let it go. Ah, yeah. Again, just like that. Great big inhale, fill up. Take a moment to pause, let the breath circulate around inside of you, every little space. And then open your mouth, let it go, sigh it out. Ah. One more time, biggest inhale you've taken all morning long. So invite in that life force, that prana. Feel it, soften around it. And then big sigh, let it go. Ah. Very nice. Seal your lips now and start to drop into Ujjayi breath. So gently constrict the muscles in the back of your throat and use them just to regulate your breath, to slow it down, to smooth it out. See if you can start to hear that little whisper noise in your breath. It's like wind moving through trees or an oceanic sound. See if you can still feel every single breath expand into your entire upper body. So with each inhale, you feel your belly, your ribs, your chest get bigger, and even your back body, even your side bodies expand. With each exhale, you're letting go, you're contracting, you're hugging in, you're finding your center. So at the bottom of each exhale, draw your belly button back towards your spine. And maybe even pause there for just a split second and find what we call Uddiyana Bandha, your core lock. So just be here and breathe with intention, attention. See what you can notice. Even notice where your thoughts go. So that if this is a hard practice for you to just sit and just be with your breath, even better, even more reason to practice it. See if you can notice not just how you feel physically, but also energetically, emotionally. We're not trying to fix or change or control, but we are just simply noticing what's there. Give yourself maybe 3 to 5 more rounds of breath. Yeah, turn off your Bluetooth, Paul. And then whenever you're ready, friends, just come forward to hands and knees, tabletop position, and start to move however you would like. So maybe that's cat-cows, maybe that's hip circles. Maybe you just want to stretch your wrists. You can spin your fingers out to the sides or back towards your knees and kind of rock it out. So take your time, no rush, stay in your seat as long as you want. Once you are on your hands and your knees, you're moving around. See if you can notice even more, tune in even more to what's going on inside. So feeling more into your spine, your hips, your shoulders. And even inviting a little more awareness into your breath. And absolutely no rush. Whenever you feel ready for your down dog, you can start to transition back into your down dog. Sorry, friends, for a moment, we're going to have good old silent yoga, like the good old days. So use the rhythm of your breath, kind of guide your movement. Use the rhythm of your breath to connect you to this present moment. Just noticing, feeling, observing where you're at today, observing what you've brought with you to class, just what's moving through. So there's no judgment, no right or wrong, simply observation. And back in your down dog, there's a few of you there. Do the same thing, just explore. So just pedal it out, maybe take your feet out wide and transfer your weight around on the diagonals, kind of side to side. Maybe you want to take one leg up in the air and then the other. Maybe you want to give your head a little shake. Yes, no. So just notice, how is my body today? What feels uncomfortable, what feels tight, what feels sore, what feels stiff. And then what feels really good, what feels really strong, what feels really open. Those of you who have been in down dog a while, see if you can just be there without anticipating what comes next. So fully be in your down dog and just feel everything there is to feel. Make this pose the most interesting thing going on in your life right now. So let everything else kind of fall away. Feel into your legs, feel into the length of your spine and your side bodies. Feel the connection of your hands on the ground. Your fingertips press into the ground, push into the ground. And maybe you even imagine there's energy flowing from your hands all the way up into your center, and see if you can feel that connection to center. So I always say it. Imagine there's an invisible rope attached to your belly button, and it's pulling up and tugging towards the top corner of the back wall. Find a little lift that comes from your center. See if we maybe got music back, I think, maybe. All right, there we go. Good job, everybody. Thanks for your patience. Take one more big inhale into your down dog. And then as you exhale, gaze to the top of your mat, step, tiptoe, or hop, forward fold. Hang out in your fold for a moment now. So if you want to take ragdoll, grab opposite elbows or fold your arms overhead. You might even bring your hands behind your head and interlace your fingers there. Give the back of your neck some traction. You might take a little sway or a little bob, a little bounce up and down. Try not to lean back into your heels, but rather keep your weight just slightly forward. So if I had a piece of paper and I came up behind you, wanted to slide it under your heels, it would be really easy for you to just lift your heels off the ground. Relax and soften through your neck and your facial muscles. Feel your big, spacious breaths flowing through you. Next time you breathe in, halfway lift position. So spinal extension, get all the rounding out of your back, lengthen. And exhale to let it go, to fold in. Do that one more time. Next inhale, halfway lift. So crown reaches forward, tops of thighs press back, sit bones broaden, exhale, fold. This time all the way up to stand. So rise up, reach up, maybe even gaze up, and exhale, hands to your heart. Flowing with your breath. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky, high mountain. Exhale, lead with your heart, swan dive down. So stick your butt out behind you, keep your weight slightly forward in your feet if you can as you dive. Inhale to find your halfway lift position. So feel into the length and even strength in your back body, nice, Chris. Exhale, fold, let it go. Bow deeply. Press into your feet, lead with your heart, take it back up. Arms to the sky, big full body stretch. And hands to heart center with your exhalation. One more round like that. How much awareness can you bring into this simple movement? Inhale, reach up and stretch. Exhale, let your breath guide you slowly down. So feel your body as it moves through space. Inhale to find your halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, bow, let it go. Nice, Laura. From the press of your feet, heart leads, come back up. Arms to the sky, big stretch, lengthen. And exhale, hands to your heart center. This time, inhale, take your arms up. Let's stretch through our sides. So I'm gonna grab my left wrist. If there's a different variation you wanna take, please feel free. When you're ready, crescent moon to the right. So hips go left, upper body goes right. Make sure your left shoulder is plugged in so it's back and down. Your bicep is next to your ear rather than in front of your face. A little more weight in your left foot, and then breathe into your left side. Yeah, nice bend. Take one more full round of breath. Maybe stretch just a tiny bit further. And inhale back to center. Other side with your exhale, your variation. So anything that feels right in your body, any variation, just right side lengthens, more weight in your right foot, hips towards the door, and upper body towards the windows. Nice CC. Breathe into your right rib cage, right waistline. Feel all that space there. Take one more round. Inhale back to center, arms reach up. And then exhale, hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders back and down. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards your spine. If you want a little more intensity, or if you just tend to lock out your elbows, bend your elbows and press your palms together, and then try to squeeze your elbows towards one another. Keep that, and imagine you're trying to pull just your fingers apart, like they're super glued together. You're trying to pull them apart, and then start to reach your hands back away from your body. You can stay where you're at, or option to add a little back bend. So not letting your head just collapse back, but puff up through your chest and curl open. Press your hips gently forward, hug in with your inner thighs. Breathe. Take one more big, huge inhale. Feel the opening in the front of your shoulders. Keep your hands clasped, hinge at your hips, dive down into your fold. Yeah, bend your knees a lot if it helps. Bring your feet out wider if it helps. Let your neck relax, head heavy. See if you can lift your sit bones up a little bit more. So weight more forward in your feet, and then focus on lifting your butt, using the strength in your core. See if you can lift your knuckles even higher and work that opening in the front of your shoulders just a little bit more. So find your own edge and then soften around it. Breathe into it. Take one more huge inhalation. Very nice. Good, Kate. Exhale, hands to your low back, then release your clasp. Let your arms hang down. You can give them a little shake out if you want to. Next time you breathe in, find a halfway lift, spinal extension. Shoulder blades hug your spine. So squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Yeah. Exhale, fold. This time, plant your hands, step back into your plank position. Pause here for a moment. So really spread your fingers wide and actively push the ground away. Start to take little tiny rocks forward and back. So just an inch or so of movement. Nothing changes in your body position. You're just transferring your weight forward more into your fingertips, pushing down. And then transferring your weight back, stretching through the backs of your legs a little bit more. Next time you inhale, find that little rock forward, so on your tippy toes or knees can come down to modify, and exhale, lower just halfway. Hold until you're emptying your breath, and then push back up into your high plank. Very nice. One more time. Exhale, halfway down. Strong arms, strong belly. Good. Inhale, push back up. This time as you exhale, slow motion all the way down, one strong straight line. Find a back bend of your choice. So baby cobra, Spider-Man cobra, sphinx, up dog, locust, wherever you'd like to go, just feel into the opening of your front body. Feel into the mobility of your spine. You can stay as long as you want in your heart opener when you are ready. Downward facing dog, transition with awareness. Back in your down dog, about 5 deep breaths. And again, can you make this posture in this moment the most interesting thing in your life? Give your mind something to focus on. There's a million things to notice. There's a million little adjustments you can make to be more efficient in your own body. So feel around. What would it feel like to press more into your thumbs and index fingers? What would it feel like to externally rotate your shoulders out away from your ears, creating more space there? What would it feel like to bend your knees a lot and lift your hips even higher? What does it feel like to straighten your legs? So there's no right or wrong. You're collecting information. You're feeling into your body in this present moment. You're feeling into the pose in this present moment. You're using your awareness. You're using your breath. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, look to the top of your space, however you want to get there, forward fold. Once you have arrived, halfway lift position, inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, bow, let it go. Root through your feet, lead with your heart all the way to stand, arms reach up, stretch. Nice, Maggie. Exhale, hands to your heart center. All right, inhale, take your arms up. And this time we're gonna add a little baby back bend. So cactus your arms and then just pause here. This is all we're doing for now. Cactus your arms and try to press your arms back and your chest forward as much as you can. Then hug in with your inner thighs like you're squeezing an invisible yoga block. Start to press your hips forward as well. Squeeze the bottom tips of your shoulder blades and curl open. So you should be able to breathe here. Soften your face, build a strength in your back body. Take one more full round of breath. Press your elbows forward and up. Lift your heart higher. Inhale, come back through center. Find neutral pelvis, neutral spine as you reach. And then exhale, chair plane. So bend your knees, swing your arms back behind you. Keep a little lift in your heart. So more like a cobra pose in your heart. And then notice, are your back muscles strong? Can you feel them? If not, bend your elbows and try to squeeze your elbows closer to one another behind your back. See if you can even feel your mid-back muscles fire up. So squeezing around your spine. Yeah. Stay right here, or option to float up onto your tiptoes. So rock forward and lift your heels as high as you can. As you lift your heels, see if you can lower your butt now a little bit more. Nice, Diane. Heart stays lifted. Back muscles are hugging towards your spine. Breath is slow and steady. One more round. Soften through your face. Good work. Inhale, high mountain. Maybe stay on your tiptoes. Get as tall as you can, as long as you can. Maybe you stay on your tiptoes. Exhale, slow dive down. Stick your butt out. Reach your heart forward. Take it all the way down. Then let it all go. Heels on the ground as you breathe into your halfway lift. Very nice. And then exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back, take your own vinyasa, however you want to. So you can add a couple push-ups if you want. You can skip it completely if you'd rather. You can substitute cat-cows. Take it on your knees. Find your way back to down dog. Ujjayi breath, big deep breaths, powerful breath. All right, from your down dog, next inhalation, take your right leg to the sky. And if you want to, for a moment, go ahead and explore, open your hip, roll out your ankle, whatever calls to you. But then eventually square off your hips. So eventually your inner thighs face one another. Your right hip faces down, slightly back, and just go for length and strength. So I don't care so much about height, but length, strength, and power in your right leg. So see if you can feel the front of your right thigh, your quad muscles squeezing. See if you can activate through your right foot. So flex, point, or floint. Flointing is like a Barbie foot. It's a pointed foot with flexed toes. Take one more big inhale, push the ground away and lift from your center. As you exhale, nice, Christine, knee to your nose. So curl in, scoop out your belly, shoulders over wrists. Stay here, breathe in. See if you can lift higher through your waistline, round your back. Exhale, step forward softly, low lunge. Rise up to crescent in your own time. So front knee over front ankle, high on the ball of your back foot. Hips are square and all 10 toes face directly forward. Find stability in the pose. So there's definitely an element of balance in crescent lunge. You find stability by hugging in towards midline. So front hip pulls back hip pulls forward, femur bones plug into the hip sockets, and your lowest, deepest abdominals tone. So you feel just the slightest drawing in of your belly, and then it lengthens your low back. It supports your low back. Lift through your heart, puff up through your chest like a proud chest. Reach through your fingers and be intentional even with your hands. So maybe you're spreading your fingers really wide, like there's energy shooting out of them. Maybe you're softening your fingers today. Maybe that's the energy you want to embody. So your expression of this posture, one more huge inhale, maybe reach just a little bit higher. Nice, Tracy. As you exhale, turbo twist to the right. So left arm forward, right arm back, bend your back knee to a hover. If you want to modify, back knee can always come gently to the ground. If your back knee is hovering, pull your back thigh forward. Try to pull your front hip back. See if you can twist even more by using your core strength. So with each exhale, that's your invitation to ring out, to twist. Maybe gaze back over your right fingertips if you want more of a balance challenge. Take one more round, see if you can get a little tiny bit lower in your legs. Maybe your back knee just kisses the ground. And then next inhale, back to crescent. So unwind, arms to the sky if you want. You can even straighten your front leg. Squeeze your front thigh. Exhale, bring your hands to the earth. Root into your front foot and float your back leg to the sky for standing splits. So don't worry don't worry about height, length, strength, and power in your left leg. Active in your left foot. Beautiful, friends. See if you can relax your neck. So unless you're taking handstand hops, which you're welcome to do, relax your neck, soften your face. Just like you would in a forward fold. It's a one-legged forward fold. Try not to sink into your right hip, your outer right hip, but lift up out of your hip by engaging through your core, by hugging in with your right inner thigh. Take one more big inhale. Maybe you lift your left toes just a tiny bit higher. As you exhale, step your left foot down at the top of your mat, forward fold. You can give your right leg, if you'd like, a little shake out. Inhale, halfway lift position. Exhale, fold and bow. Root through your feet, rise all the way to stand, arms to the sky, big stretch, lengthen. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, take your arms up. Add your baby back bend with your exhalation. Cactus your arms, hug in with your inner thighs as you gently press your hips forward and curl open. Inhale, back to neutral, re-extend. Exhale, this time just a regular chair pose. So sit back, weight in your heels. It's like there's an invisible chair behind you, but it's a little too far away. So you're reaching your butt back towards it. This is a perfect place to stay. Stay right here, or option to bring your arms parallel to the ground. Lift up to your tiptoes. And then slowly lower your hips all the way down to your heels, or just as low as you can go. Slowly rise back up. We'll do that 2 more times. Slowly lower down. You can go at your own time and pace. Slowly lift up. Stay on your tiptoes, heels lifted high. Yeah, moving with intention, attention. Beautiful, you guys. Everyone, next time you inhale, high mountain, you can stay on your tiptoes if you want, so as tall as you can grow. Exhale, dive down slowly. Option to stay on your tiptoes as you dive. Nice CC, halfway lift with your inhalation, heels on the ground. Exhale, plant your hands, feet back, vinyasa your way. See you back in downward facing dog. Ujjayi breath, slow, steady, powerful, and strong. Inhale your left leg to the sky. And feel free if you want, a little bit of exploration, a little bit of movement. So long, strong, and powerful through your left leg as you square off your hips. So inner thighs face each other, and see if you can really squeeze through the front of your left thigh. Feel your quad engage. Yeah, hug in with your inner thigh. So make sure you're not sinking into your outer right hip. Take one more big inhale, push through your fingertips, lift from your center. Exhale, knee to your nose, round your spine, shoulders over wrists, scoop out your belly, breathe in, pump it through your back body. Exhale, step forward softly, low lunge, and then rise to crescent lunge as you are ready. So maybe you like to bring your hands up to your front thigh first, or even your hips. Eventually, arms to the sky. So high on the ball of your back foot, find as much space in your legs as you can. So your longest stance, but then rather than sinking into it, you're stabilizing, you're hugging in, front hip pulls back, back hip pulls forward. Your back leg should feel just as strong and powerful as your front leg. Weight is nice and centered. Little tone in your lowest, deepest abdominals. So navel to spine, feel your low back lengthen, feel the support there. Breathe, slow, steady. Intentional, even through your hands. And then soften your face. Try not to clench through your jaw or tighten up through your forehead. So yes, you are focused and alert, but you're also calm and relaxed all at the same time. You're not straining, you're not forcing anything. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, turbo twist towards the windows. Right arm forward, left arm back knee bends to a hover. If you want to modify, back knee can come to the ground at any time. If your back knee is lifted, remember, imagine you're dragging your back thigh forward and pulling your front hip back. Twist from your center. Try not to lean or reach forward. Weight stays centered. And maybe even gaze over your back hand. Soften your face, unclench your jaw. So all this strength work, can you find just a little bit of sweetness? Soften through your outer shell. Take one more round. Twist with your exhale, ring out. Inhale, back to crescent, arms to the sky. Option to straighten your front leg if you want to. And then exhale, hands to the earth. Walk them forward a little bit and float your back leg up, standing splits. So right leg lifts. Don't worry about height, length, strength, and power through your right leg, even your right foot and toes. Relax your neck just like a one-legged forward fold. So maybe your gaze falls somewhere behind you, or maybe even up at your belly button. Breathe. Make sure your breath is still there, steady. Powerful. Every little space fills up with each inhale. Empty all the way out with your exhales. Take one more big, huge inhale. Maybe lift your right foot a little bit higher. Exhale, top of your mat, forward fold. Set your right foot down and give your left leg a little shake out if you want to. Inhale to a halfway lift position. Exhale, fold. This time, plant your hands, step back to plank pose. Pause here. We'll go into a side plank on our right hand. So roll onto the baby toe edge of your right foot, or if you'd like to modify, right knee can absolutely come to the ground, or you might even come down to your right forearm if you're taking care of your wrist. So to modify, bottom knee down. If your bottom knee is lifted, then focus on lifting your hips really high. Create a crescent shape with your body. Option to take your left arm forward, bicep next to your ear. Option to float your left leg up. And as you float your left leg up, see if you can lift your hips even higher. Yes, amazing, Maggie. Take one more big, huge breath, fullest expression. End of your exhale, come back to your plank or modified plank. Take one inhale at the top to prepare. Push the ground away. Exhale, slowly lower down. Back bend of your choice. Breathe in. And then just a tabletop position, just hands and knees. So as you come onto all fours, spread your fingers, push the ground away actively. Feel your shoulders and even your pectoral muscles fire up. Take your right arm forward and your left leg back for a spinal balance. So right arm forward, left leg back. You're not gazing forward, you're gazing down. So the back of your neck is long. You're not going for a smiley face shape. You're going for a strong, straight, powerful line of energy. Yeah, push with your back foot like you're trying to stomp it on the back wall. Reach through your fingertips like you're reaching out to shake somebody's hand. Take one more big inhale. As you exhale, slow motion, elbow to knee, curl in, hollow out, round your spine. Good, Marriott. Inhale, re-extend, lengthen. Powerful line of energy. Exhale, slow and smooth movement, elbow to knee, curl in, round, hollow out. Good. Inhale, lengthen. And then one last time, elbow to knee underneath you. Find that connection to center. All the way to emptying your breath. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Now, this time as you exhale, bend your left knee, heel towards your butt cheek. Reach your right arm towards the back of the room and lift your heart, not your head, but your heart. So see if you can feel the mobility in your mid and your upper back. This is a perfect place to stay. If it is available to you, grab your foot or even your ankle, hug in with your inner thighs, and then start to kick and pull. So kick foot into hand, pull hand back into foot, gentle leverage to work the pose. Breathe all the way down into your belly. Soften your face, not straining, not forcing. Just meeting yourself right at your edge and softening around it with each breath. One last round, fullest expression today in this moment. End of your exhale, slowly release, come back to spinal balance, find neutral spine, breathe in. And then exhale, set everything on the ground, everything comes back down. Take your right leg out to the right, straight out. Toes face directly forward and your heel comes straight out from your hip. Left arm out to the left and then all the way up to the sky, breathe in. Exhale, thread your left arm through. So reach through as far as you can and then come down to rest gently outside of your shoulder, outside of your head. See if you can really feel your breath in your back body especially. If there's anywhere you want to take this, any expression or variation you want to explore, feel free. You've got about 3 more rounds. See if you can take every single exhale all the way to emptiness, all the way to the very bottom. Good, everybody. If you do happen to have your right hand lifted, set your right hand back on the ground. And then with your next inhalation, unthread your left arm. Reach it up one more time. Open up through the left side of your heart. Exhale, set your left hand down. And then pick up your right foot and swing your right leg all the way over so your right toes come off the left side of your mat. They're curled under. Pull your hips, if you can, to the right, and then gaze back over your left shoulder. Look back at your right tip toes. You might bend one or both elbows or even come down to one or both forearms. Sometimes I like to walk my right hand forward a little bit. Sometimes I like to round a little bit and peekaboo under my left armpit. So feel into this. Get everything you can out of this pose for your own body in this moment. One last big deep breath. Nice, easy, and then come back to regular tabletop. Take it back to downward facing dog. All right, next inhale, right leg to the sky. And then try not to move at all through your hands or your shoulders as you peel your right hip open. So bend your right knee, yeah, and reach it out and then up. So it's like your right hip is a hinge on a door, your right leg is the door, it swings open. Lift your right knee as high as you can. And I even like to imagine there's a rolled up washcloth behind my right knee and I'm trying to squeeze it and wring it out. Nice job, awesome, Kate. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, right knee towards your left elbow or as close as you can come. Push the ground away as you come forward. Yeah, inhale back up. You can scorpion your leg if you want to. Right to right as you exhale. Aim for your armpit, so aim high. You can add a push up if it's in your practice. And then inhale back up, stretch it out. Last one, knee to your nose, scoop out your belly, round your spine, step forward softly, low lunge. This time we're gonna stay low. Left hand on the ground, right arm to the sky for a twist. Beautiful, friends. So legs are strong. Imagine you're trying to drag your right hip towards the back of the room, but your left knee is magnetized, or excuse me, but your right knee is magnetized to your left armpit. Breathe down into your belly and work your twist with each exhalation. Couple more rounds. See if you can start to feel less weight in your left hand, more strength in your legs and connection to your center. I want you to use that strength in your legs, use that connection to your center. Keep your twist and rise up. So we'll be in that turbo twist again. Left arm forward, right arm back. Once you are standing up, you might even bend your back knee to a hover. And then see if you can twist just a tiny bit further. One more round. Next inhale, warrior two. Bring your right arm forward, take your left arm back and pivot your back heel down. If you need to, you can take a moment to readjust your legs. So maybe even look down at your feet, readjust if needed. Right toes face directly forward, left toes towards the windows. Your front heel intersects your back arch or lines up with your back toes. And then really wrap your front butt cheek underneath your body and see if you can feel your front knee tracking open towards your pinky toe. Next inhalation, reverse warrior. So front palm rotates up, reach back. Yeah, keep that deep bend in your front knee. If you would like, take it into your own expression. I like to grab my right wrist sometimes or bring my left arm behind my back, reach it forward. So if there's anywhere you want to go with this, feel free. Working the length in your right side. Lift your right rib cage further away from your right hip. Beautiful, friends. Take one more round. Back to your warrior two. And then straighten your front leg. We'll move into a triangle pose. So if you want, you can shorten your stance by just an inch or so. Whenever you're ready, imagine your hips are being pulled towards the back wall and you're trying to reach for the front wall. So you're being pulled in these opposite directions. When you can't reach any further, just your arms change. Right hand towards the ground, left arm towards the sky. So your heart stays open. Nice, Dan. Your hips stay open. Shoulders open, breathe. You can absolutely stay here. I think triangle pose, there's so much to get out of it. There's so many adjustments you can make. If you would like, you can float up into a balancing half moon. So reach your right hand forward, float your back leg up, wherever you choose to go, about 2 or 3 more breaths. Nice, Laura. So your back leg, if it's lifted, strong and powerful. Imagine you're stomping it onto the back wall. Soften around the pose wherever you are at. One last round, your fullest expression. And then everybody come back to a warrior two stance. So land softly if you're balancing. Good job, friends. All right. Straighten your front leg again and parallel your feet so all of your toes now face the windows. Arms to the sky, breathe in. And as you exhale, dive down into your fold. 5 breaths in your wide-legged forward fold, wherever you would like to go with it today. You can hang out, find stillness. Just notice the movement on the inside of your body. Or maybe there's bigger movement that you want to explore on the outside of your body. So you do you wherever you want to take it. Just stay present. Stay on your mat. Stay in your body. Stay with your breath. Rather than tuning out, tune in. Good work. Next time you inhale, come to a halfway lift, fingertips just on the ground. So bend your knees if needed. And then walk your hands to the top of your mat. Rotate your toes forward. You're back in a low lunge. From low lunge, 3-legged down dog. Take your right leg all the way back and up. Open up your hip again. So bend your knee. Lift your knee as high as you can. Stay here. Or option to flip your dog. Right foot comes down behind you. Reach forward, or maybe your right hand behind your head. Yeah, heart forward towards the front of the room, hips towards the sky. Back muscles strong, nice Paul, good bend. Take one more round, your fullest expression wherever you are at, feel it all. And then everybody, regular down dog, just walk it out. Slow, steady breath. Great big inhale. Exhale, gaze forward, step or float, top of your mat, forward fold. Halfway lift position as you breathe in, lengthen and realign. Exhale, fold, listen, plant your hands, step back to plank. Side plank, this time left hand is your base, your foundation. Roll onto the baby toe edge of left foot, or left knee can come down, or even left forearm can come down to modify. If your bottom knee is not on the ground, focus on lifting your hips really high. Good, Marriott. So that will take weight out of your wrist and out of your shoulder if you can find the strength in your core, your obliques, those side abdominals. Option to reach your right arm forward, lengthen your right side. Maybe even float your right leg up. Take one more huge breath. Beautiful. Nice, Chris. Come back to plank or modified plank. Inhale at the top of your push-up. Exhale, slowly lower. Keep your belly strong. Back bend of your choice. Lift your heart. Breathe in. And then when you're ready, just hands and knees, tabletop position. Spread your fingers, push actively into the ground. So rather than feeling like you're sinking into your joints, feel all your muscles engage. Feel, rather than like your belly is dropping down, feel a connection to center even here. So draw your belly button in and up, that little tone. It should almost feel like you're puffing up your low back a little bit. Keep all of that and then take your left arm forward and your right leg back, spinal balance. Your hips are square, your inner thighs face each other. You're pressing back with your right foot, and then you're reaching through your left fingertips. Thumb faces up, palm faces in, like you're going to shake somebody's hand. One more big inhale, lots of length, strength, and power. Exhale, slow motion movement, elbow to knee, round and hollow out. Empty out. Inhale to slowly re-extend. Moving with your breath, two more like that. Exhale, elbow to knee, all the way to empty. Nice, Diane. Inhale, lengthen. And last one, curl in. Exhale, empty out. Lengthen with your inhale. And then working into our half bow, reach your left arm back, bend your right knee, heel towards your butt cheek. If you can, grab hold of your foot or ankle. If you can't, no big deal. Stay where you're at and see if you can just lift your heart. If you have your foot or your ankle in your hand, work the pose now with gentle leverage. So hug in with your inner thighs, lift your heart, feel the mobility in your mid and your upper back. Tone your low belly, navel to spine to protect your low back. Breathe. One more huge, spacious breath. Take it all the way to empty. And then slow release back to spinal balance. Breathe in, realign your spine. Exhale, set everything down, hands and knees. Left leg out to the left. So straight out, heel directly out from your hip, toes face forward. And then right arm out to the right, all the way up as high as you can reach. Inhale here. And exhale to thread your right arm through. Come down to rest outside of your shoulder, outside of your head, just gently. And then if there's anywhere you want to go with this pose on the side, feel free. Feel your breath, especially in your back body. So upper back, mid back, all the way down into your low back. Every exhale, can you find emptiness? Can you find that connection to your center? Uddiyana Bandha, navel to spine. So rather than being here and just tuning out, going somewhere else, be here, tune in, feel everything, notice everything, make little micro adjustments from the inside Soften where you can soften. Last couple of rounds. If your left hand happens to be lifted, set it back down. Next inhale, unthread your right arm and reach it up as high as you can one more time. Open up. And exhale, right hand to the ground. Pick up your left foot, swing your left leg over. So left toes off the right side of your mat. Pull your hips towards the windows and then gaze back over your right shoulder. Lengthen your left side. Make this feel good. There's different ways to work this. You might rock forward or back. You might round a little or arch a little. You might come down to one or both forearms or bend one or both elbows. Yeah, so get all the juice out of the pose for your own body. Take one last huge full body breath. And back to hands and knees. Back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Try not to shift through hands or shoulders. Open your left hip, bend your knee, stack your left hip on top of right. And maybe, if that resonates for you, squeeze your rolled up invisible washcloth behind your left knee, active through your left foot. Flex point or floint. Take one more big inhale, lift your left knee a tiny bit higher, push into the ground with your hands, strong shoulders. Exhale, left knee, right elbow, or as close as you can come. Use your oblique strength. Nice, Dan. Inhale, back up. Option to open your hip if you want to. Exhale, left to left. Aim for your armpit and then add the push-up if you'd like. Yes. Inhale, back up. Awesome bend. Exhale, last one. Knee to your nose. Scoop out your belly, round your spine, then step forward softly. Staying in your low lunge, add your twist. Right hand on the ground or a block, left arm to the sky. Beautiful, Kate. So legs are strong. Feel the twist coming from your center. Breathe down into your belly. Remember, you're trying to energetically drag your left hip towards the back wall, but your left knee is magnetized to your right armpit. Feel whatever there is to feel, even if it's uncomfortable, can you be with it? And in twists, I know it's a little harder to get your breath to move down into your belly, so maybe you put just a slight extra effort behind your breath. Start to bring more strength into your legs, more connection to your center. Get ready to rise. So rooting through your feet, stay in your twist, slowly rise up. You'll be in that turbo twist position, right arm forward, left arm back. Yeah, once you are standing, you might even bend your back knee to a hover, see if you can twist a little bit further. Possibly even gaze back over your left fingertips. Last round. Nice, Christine. And then open it up with your inhale, warrior two. Back heel pivots down. You need to adjust your legs if you want to widen your stance or anything like that. Feel free, give yourself a moment. You can look down at your feet if that's helpful. Feel your front knee track towards your pinky toe rather than collapsing in towards your big toe. Feel your weight, nice and centered, shoulders over hips. With your next inhalation, reverse warrior. So front palm rotates up, reach back. Actively lengthening your left side. So rather than just sitting in the pose, work the pose with each breath. See if you can lift your left rib cage further away from your hip. See if you might be able to bend your front knee a little bit more. Feel the grounding through your feet, root into the outer edges, especially of both feet. If there's a variation you want to take, go for it. Last couple of breaths. Good job. Come back to a warrior two stance. Set up for triangle. So straighten your front leg. And if you want to shorten your stance just by an inch or so, feel free. Imagine there's a rope attached to your back hip and it's pulling towards the back wall. And at the same time, you're reaching towards the front of the room. So it's like you're being pulled in two opposite directions. When you can't reach any further, just your arms change. Left hand towards the ground, right arm towards the sky. So try not to collapse or close off. Stay open. Heart open, hips open, shoulders open. Breathe. This is a wonderful place to stay. Again, I think there's so much to be explored in your triangle pose. If you would like to balance, reach your left hand forward, bend into your front knee, and then float your back leg off the ground, balancing half moon. If you're balancing, back leg strong. So rather than feeling like your back leg is so heavy, active foot, active through your leg, engage all the little tiny muscles, make your back leg support itself. Everything is still open no matter where you have chosen to go. Last couple of breaths. Softening around the hard edges. And then everybody return to a warrior two stance, soft landing if possible. Once you're back in your warrior two, straighten your front leg again, parallel your feet. Take your arms to the sky, and this time, hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders back and down, shoulder blades squeeze your spine. You might press your palms, it's up to you. Reach your hands back if you can. Lift your heart just a little bit, gaze up. One more inhale. And then keep your clasp, hinge at your hips, stick your butt out behind you as you reach your heart forward and then come down into your fold. Once you are folding, see if you can bring your weight just slightly forward. So less in your heels, more in your toes and the balls of your feet, just like we do in our regular forward fold. See if you can lift your sit bones higher, lift your knuckles higher. If you don't want to keep your hands clasped, you can let them go at any time. We'll be here for about 3 more breaths. If your hands are clasped, make sure your neck can relax. Give your head a little shake, yes or no. Meet yourself right where you are at. If you still have your fingers interlaced, end of your next exhale, bring your hands to your low back and then gently release your clasp. Let your arms hang. Halfway lift next time you breathe in. Fingertips on the ground, walk your hands to the top of your space, rotate your toes to face forward, back to a low lunge. And then from your low lunge, back to your 3-legged dog, left leg back and up, open your hip. Yes, perfect place to stay. Or option to flip your dog, come into wild thing. Or flip dog. So flip dog is both feet flat on the ground. Wild thing, outer edge of right foot, tiptoes of left foot, heart forward. Lift your heart, lift your hips. Awesome, Christine. See if you can even let your heart look at the front wall. Take one more round, your fullest expression wherever you are at, even if you're in your 3-legged dog. And then everybody, regular down dog. Come back and walk it out. Give yourself a few rounds in your down dog, or if you'd rather, you can come down into a child's pose for a moment. So take just a moment. Reconnect, slow down from the inside out. If you'd like, you might even take a couple open mouth sighs. Ah. If you're in child's pose, couple more grounding breaths. Downward facing dog. Big inhale into your down dog. Lift your hips even higher, grow your spine even longer. Exhale, gaze forward, step or light hop, top of your space, forward fold. Halfway lift position with your inhale. Exhale, bow and fold. Root through your feet all the way to stand, arms to the sky, big stretch. Hands to heart, exhale. So this is kind of our last hurrah. We're gonna play with our balance one last time. So take your arms to the sky and then balancing on your right foot, bend your left knee, heel towards your butt. Reach your right hand back to grab your left foot. So we're going for twisted dancer. Notice how when you grab your left foot, your body kind of gets all ski-wampus. See if you can come back to neutral. So find midline, hug in. It's like the inside of your knees are kissing each other. And then see if you can roll your right shoulder back and down. Okay, this is a great place to stay. Stay here and just work on your balance, or option to hinge at your hips and start to kick and pull. So kick foot into hand, pull hand into foot, hug in with your inner thighs. As you hinge forward, see if you can then lift your heart like you're doing a little cobra in your heart. I know it's hard. Let yourself wobble, shake, fall out of the pose. It's all part of the practice. Take 2 more rounds wherever you are at. Maybe diving just a little deeper, or maybe just balancing on one foot. That's it for today. Totally fine. See if you can come out slowly and come into a standing staff pose. So left knee lifts up, arms reach up. If you want, you can even extend your left leg. Take one more big inhale here. And then as you exhale, just set your left foot down, dive down into a fold. And we're just gonna hang out in a forward fold for a few breaths before we take the other side. So if there's any variation of a fold that you would like to go into, please feel free. You can make it a nice, easy ragdoll, or maybe you wanna grab your big toes with your peace fingers. Maybe you wanna bring your palms underneath your feet, gorilla pose. So back bend, that's spinal extension. You just worked your spinal extension. Now your forward fold, this is your spinal flexion. So give yourself a moment to just kind of balance yourself out, breathe into your low back. Soften with your exhales. And then we'll neutralize our spine with a halfway lift. So next inhalation, lengthen. How much length can you create? Exhale, fold, let it go. Root to rise all the way up. Arms reach. Hands to heart, exhale. All right, one more time. Arms reach up. This time your left foot is your base. Bend your right knee, heel towards your butt. And then reach your left hand back. Find your foot, grab hold. Once you've got it, see if you can come back to neutral. So hugging in towards midline, trying to find neutral spine as much as you can. So rather than feeling like your ribs are going forward, draw your belly button in, roll your left shoulder back and down. Little bend in your standing leg. It's like your shock absorbers. And then start to hinge at your hips. I know this feels awkward. Twisted dancer, such an awkward pose. Be with that. As you hinge forward, so you're hinging at your left hip, but your heart is still opening. It's like you're doing a cobra pose with your heart. Feel your back muscles hugging towards your spine. Feel your inner thighs squeezing towards midline. That'll help stabilize. Wherever you're at, about 3 more rounds of breath. Good. So let yourself wobble, let yourself shake. Nice work. Awesome job. Try to stay balanced on your left foot and slowly come into a standing staff. So right knee forward, arms up. Option to extend your right leg forward. Try not to lean back. One more inhale. Exhale, right foot down. Dive down, forward fold. Lift halfway, breathe in, realign. Exhale, plant your hands, feet back, vinyasa, however you want to. Back to downward facing dog. Good job, friends. From your dog pose, inhale your right leg back and up. And then pigeon pose as you exhale, right shin forward, set your body down. If you'd rather take this on your back or in a seat for whatever reason, choice is always yours. So take your time to set yourself up intentionally. And then breath by breath, Soften. I'm gonna come around with a little essential oil spritz. If you don't want it, please just raise your hand quickly. Okay, thank you. Nice, Marianne. Good, Tracy. Send your breath down into your right hip. Send your breath down into your pelvis. Take about 3 or 4 more breaths. Open mouth exhales are welcome at any time. Soften your shoulders. What would it feel like if you could soften through your heart space, the front and the back? Take one more huge inhale. So with your next inhale, fill up as big as you can. Maybe visualize your breath moving down into your hips, your pelvis. And then side out, let it go. Ah. If you're in regular pigeon, start a slow transition back to down dog. If you were taking a different variation, you can take whatever neutralizing movements in between sides that you would like to. And those of you who are moving back into your down dog, maybe you want to move into a 3-legged dog first, give your right leg a little shake out. Maybe you want to move through a vinyasa to kind of reset. Maybe you want to take some cat-cows. And I'm just going to leave it up to each of you as you are ready. Find your pigeon pose, whichever variation you want to take, with your left shin forward or your left shin on top. And set yourself up with just as much intention, attention as you did on the other side. And settle in breath by breath. You might notice, does this side feel different than the other side? No judgment, just observation, just information. Take about 3 or 4 more rounds. Open mouth exhales, always welcome. So if you ever feel like there's too much, there's an overwhelm of sensation, there's an overwhelm of energy. Big sigh out your mouth, so valuable. Just let it go. Next time you breathe in, fill up as big as you can. Hold at the top. When you think you are full, see if you can even take just a little sip more. And then big sigh. And since we all came into this at different times, if you feel like you need to stay here longer to even yourself out, choice is always yours. If you feel ready, start to move back into one final down dog. If you're already on your back and you want to wait for us there, or if you're in a seat, you want to come down onto your back before or rather than taking a final down dog, that's fine. So you just choose any neutralizing movement for you. If you're making your way back to down dog, maybe you want one last vinyasa and you want to give your left leg a little shake out. And then eventually just walk it out in your down dog. Feel all that length and space you have created. I'm just going to say, everybody, in your next 3 to 5 rounds of breath, find your way onto your back body. You can transition however you want to. You can make it really intentional, a little bit fancy, or you can just come down. Nice and easy. Once you are on your back, no rush. Just draw your knees in towards your belly and rock gently side to side. Maybe you rock around in little circles, tracing the outline of your sacrum against the ground. Nice, Chris. Good. Everybody, feet on the ground with your knees bent. Bring your feet out to mat width distance. So feet are wider than your hips. That'll open up space in your low back. Tee out your arms or goal post your arms against the ground. And windshield wiper your knees slowly from side to side. And I say slowly because if you go slow, you will get so much more out of this movement than if you just flop your knees over from side to side. So just like when you drive a car, if you're going 100 miles per hour, you miss a lot of the scenery. If you're going 20 miles per hour, you can see every little thing. You can notice so much more. Same thing in your body. If you go slow, there's so much you can notice. Yeah, and if you want to stay on one side for a couple breaths or so, on the other side, feel free. And after a few rounds of windshield wiper, happy baby pose. And your happy baby, you can rock a little bit, you can explore a little bit. So you might even turn it into a kind of plow pose. You might bring your feet together, soles of your feet together, knees apart. Sometimes I like to pull my feet in towards my chest as I try to press my knees away. You might extend one leg and then the other. Go for a neutral spine rather than a rounded back. So try to rest your head down, backs of your shoulders down, and even tailbone down. After a few rounds in happy baby, start your transition into your final relaxation. So if there's any last stretches, movements, poses you feel like your body is really craving, move through them. And then just slowly start to settle in. My thought for you as you settle into your final resting pose, it's by Jeff Foster. It's called A Life You Love. He says, if you want a life you love, love the life you have. See the destination as a present reality. Receive the moment as a gift. Rich or poor, in sickness and in health, Bow to what is given. Embrace what is coming. And you will be wealthier than all the creatures on this sacred earth. Bow to what is given. Embrace what is coming. And you will be wealthier than all the creatures on this sacred earth. Shavasana. Take a deep breath down into your belly. Let it go. And start to move gently through fingers, toes, maybe even a full body stretch or a little temple massage, forehead massage for yourself. As you're ready, roll to either side, fetal position, just curling into yourself. For one last moment, letting the ground hold all of your weight. As you rest on your side body, just really let your practice, all the energy from it, settle in, seep in, absorb in. And using your arm strength, Slowly guide yourself up into seated meditation, right back where we began. And as you sit up nice and tall, feel into the length of your spine. Close your eyes and gather your hands to your heart. And just bow your head to your heart in acknowledgement of yourself for showing up today, taking time to do your practice, to tune into your body, your breath, yourself in a deeper way. Thank you so much for showing up for class, letting me guide you through your practice. The light in me sees and reflects the light in you. Namaste. All right, as usual, about 10 minutes late, but you know, I'm back. Thank you so much, you guys. If you have any questions, always feel free to ask. And I'll be here tonight at 8:30 if anyone feels like another yoga practice. And then Sunday at 10. Oh, so what I was saying is I missed my flight just because I'm a dum-dum, because I looked at it the night before and I thought it said 9:15. I don't know what I looked at. Yeah. But my flight was at 7:20. But then so I got there and they were like, your flight was at 7:20, and I was like, and then so
This is the first leg.
yeah. So I had to guess how much I had to pay. It's so sad. $27. I was so sad. I was so mad. I was like mad at myself because
Yeah.
but anyway, I just had to let it go. And the only good thing that came out of it though, I did get on the 11 hours, which was honestly it's the best thing.
Well, that's.
Bye, mom, love you. I know. I'm like, okay, at least I'll take that. Like
So you went to Thailand.